in the middle of a railroad track. Looked around and I knew there was no turning back. My mind raced and I thought, what could I do? And I knew there was no help from you. Sound of the drums beating my heart. The thunder of guns tore me apart.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back to Victory Games Central America. And we are ready for the Contra Drive scenario number 6. And with a fresh opponent. Don't know what happened to my last opponent. He said he was going to be a little bit late. I tried getting a hold of him again, and there's been no response, so something must have happened. Luckily, in my vassal emails, I had a couple opponents wanting to play this game, and I got back a hold of another one, but he is in another country. So we're going international with Central America. And he's got the game also. I don't know if my last opponent actually had the game. This opponent's going to set this up too. We both kind of like the 3D aspect of it, but we're going to be doing die rolls via the module. So it kind of extra work for both of us. I'm getting ready to open up his moves now. He is the communist, and I am the allies. Give you a little shot of what's going on here. Now, let's read this first. Background. The FDN and ARDE have agreed to a major offensive in eastern Nicaragua. Their forces have infiltrated deep into the country before the FSLN leadership has learned of their presence, which is totally true. I'll show you the map here. And now heavy FSLN reinforcements are being sent to stem the rebels. Meanwhile, the FSLN leadership debates whether or not to attack Contra bases in Honduras and in Costa Rica. Here you go. Oops. And there's little political rules that they have involved in the game here too. These are the big bases here. There's the one right across the border. The borders are these dotted lines here. And here's some actual Costa Rican forces now. In the game rules, the Sandinistas can cross the border and attack the rebels, but if they do, all bets are off, and it's go time for the Costa Ricans. Now, in the rules, the Sandinistas cannot attack the Costa Ricans, but the Costa Ricans can attack the Sandinistas. That sounds fair. But, yeah, if they choose to go into this across the border, they got to take on Costa Rica. All right, same thing for Honduras. We got our big rebel bases there, the historic Las Vegas base camps. You know that again, right across the border. Back in the Reagan presidency. I don't know if this actually happened or what. I don't know if this is historical, but I do know that they, about the Contras and everything. This might be a historical what happened when they launched their offensive. But there's their big bases there, fortifications. Contras don't have any real air assets. They are supplied by CIA units and what's called civilian military assistance. And their air units don't compare to the Sandinistas. The Sandinistas are definitely got bulked up by the Russians/Cubans and got a lot more air assets. You can see there's the extent of the Sandinistas. Now their pile here for the Allies looks bigger, but a lot of those purple ones are Honduran that we can't use until the Sandinistas cross the border. So you can see more of the white ones are civilian military assistance, CMA up there in the corner. And we got some CIA units. That's AWACS, it looks like. So I wouldn't mind my opponent coming across the border so I could use those Honduran air units. We'll see how it goes. Orange blocks or big-time victory hexes. There you go. For the Allied players, a matter of gaining cities, ports, airports, towns, supply sources, villages, airstrips, and non-mobile SAM sites. You can see their value. Well, if I move my pencil, there you go. Now, for the communist player, it's just about eliminating units. The less units you have on the board, the better. So it's all about him getting rid of these units. And that was one thing about my first opponent. I don't understand. I still think he could have kicked my butt. He threw in the towel a couple times, and where I thought, you know, he could have did a lot more. And I don't know how much he was into it. That's why, hence, I really haven't heard from him. Although he said he was interested. But it's been 2 weeks, and I just emailed him. I said, are you still playing? And I haven't heard back from him. He usually emails right away, so something must happen. Hopefully nothing bad. But we're excited about opening up the log and starting. The communist player starts first. You can see all the Contra forces that are already in country. And he'll be looking just to eliminate forces. He gets points by eliminating the brown pieces. It's not too hard. And I get points for getting some of these orange and gray blocks. So I got my work cut out for me. His deployment was kind of cool. He had some units, and he really beefed up this spot here. It's central. So you can see where everybody might be heading towards. It just, you know, quick glances. I haven't really looked at too much on strategy. And he put some units here. So these are air groups here, and, well, he put another air group down here. So we'll see how much beefed up it is around here. But he is on his way now. I mentioned something about going for weather, and he, I guess, wisely looked at the scenario and said, and I didn't notice it either, that the scenario really didn't call for the weather rule, and each scenario will call for weather. If it has, see right here, it says optional rules on this scenario 5 we just played, the Civil War. Roll for weather after all units have been set up from beginning. And this scenario doesn't have it. But we're going to use it anyway because we both like the weather. It's more realistic. So even though the scenario don't call for it, we're going to roll for weather. Got a big old thing there because I forgot about that. We forgot about that in our last game. We only rolled for it once. We're going to try to do things better. And we got a corrected combat result table mechanic that we weren't doing right last time, but we all played by the same effects, so it was no real game integrity lost. But it's nice to, and my last opponent's one that pointed that out to me too, so what can I say? Not the sharpest tool in the shed, but it's good to have opponents that point this stuff out. Other than that, that's about it. We're ready to go. This is our third scenario. We played 2 with my last opponents that were pretty good, and yeah, but he capitulated, I think, on both of them. I don't know if he was a bad side on each one of them. He got the bad luck of being the bad side. This would have been a good side for him. And I guarantee you, once we start playing this game, I'll get an email from him saying, "Oh, I'm ready to play." That's usually the way it works. So there you go. Here are his communist reinforcements. Game turn 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Available insurgency units are on the turn track on phase that's called the insurgency placement phase. My insurgency units on the left, communist on the right. I think it's in a special forces paratroops. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me on this one. There's their air units, like I said. We keep track of all the resources, reorganization points, and stuff like that. I don't think that's about it on the preamble of the game, and we will be back here in a little bit, starting with the weather roll, and then moving on to the first move, communist supply phase, and so on and so forth. Let it turn record track. We'll be back.